Building and deploying modern applications, it can feel like a massive, complicated puzzle sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. So many moving parts.
Yeah, trying to get everything working together smoothly, it can be a real headache.
It really can. And that's kind of where platforms like Xuda are trying to step in, you know, to simplify things.
Right. With things like advanced orchestration, a dynamic marketplace, powerful tools all in one spot.
Exactly. Giving developers, well, more control and maybe less hassle.
So today, we're not just going to talk about what Zuda is, but really dig into how you can actually use it, like practical examples.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of scenarios based on the sources showing different ways it can be applied. Real world stuff.
Okay, let's dive in. What's the first big use case?
Well, a really common one is controlling data access. Applications where only specific people inside a company should see certain information.
Ah, the traditional setup. Sensitive data,
Yeah.
local users, tight security.
Precisely.
Hmm.
So this first scenario looks at how Zuda supports that, making sure only authorized folks get access.
And for listeners worried about internal data security, how does Zuda tackle this? What makes its approach stand out?
Good question. It focuses on robust security features built into the platform itself. Think granular permissions, managing access rights, maybe more centrally than, say, juggling separate server settings.
Okay, so potentially more streamlined control. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what if you need to do the opposite, like reach out to the public?
Right. So scenario two flips that, using Zuda for public outreach. Think engaging landing pages.
For showcasing services, maybe products.
Exactly. And importantly, capturing leads seamlessly, integrating that public front end with your back-end systems.
How does that integration work? Is it easy to connect it to like a CRM?
From what we see, yeah, it's designed to connect with various marketing and CRM tools pretty directly.
Mm-hmm.
So turning those web visits into actual leads becomes, well, less clunky.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've got internal control and public outreach. What about more complex apps, the ones doing serious work behind the scenes?
Yeah, that brings us to scenario three, applications with significant back-end processing. Server-side jobs doing the heavy lifting.
Right, like complex workflows or data crunching.
Exactly. And here, Zuda handles both sides, the password-protected admin app and maybe a public-facing PWA.
PWA, Progressive Web App. Can you unpack that a bit? Why is that distinction important?
Sure. A BWA is like a website that acts like a mobile app, offline access, notifications, that sort of thing.
Ah, okay.
So separating the secure admin part from the public PWA means you get controlled internal operations and a slick, user-friendly experience for everyone else.
That makes a lot of sense, keeping those worlds separate but connected.
Mm-hmm.
Now, thinking bigger geographically, what if your business has multiple locations?
That's scenario four, managing applications that are distributed across different places.
Okay, how does Luda help there?
A key thing is assigning user groups based on location.
And the benefit of doing that is like performance.
Performance is a big one, yeah. Serving users from closer servers,
Mm.
but also tailoring content or access based on region makes the experience better, more relevant.
Right, targeted access. Useful for franchises or international companies, I imagine.
Definitely. Now, shifting gears a bit, quality control, making sure apps actually work before they go live.
Always critical. So, scenario 5, testing.
Yep. Setting up isolated testing environments within Zuda makes it easier.
Why is having that isolated environment so key? Why not just test on a development server?
Well, isolation means you can thrash it, try breaking things, test new features rigorously without any risk to your live application. It's like a safe sandbox.
A sandbox, okay. Prevents those oops, I broke production moments.
Hopefully minimizes the risk anyway.
Good practice. Okay, what about reaching users on like all their different devices, phones, tablets, desktops?
That's scenario six, cross-platform accessibility, developing for iOS, Android, and the web, all integrated.
All using Zuda, with maybe one admin console.
Exactly. The advantage is streamlining development, less repeated work, and a more consistent experience for everyone, users and admins.
Consistency is good. Okay, many apps don't live in a vacuum, right? They need to talk to other systems.
Absolutely. Scenario 7 tackles that. System integration using Zuda's APIs.
APIs, application programming interfaces. In simple terms, what do they let you do here?
They're like messengers. They let your Zuda application exchange data and commands with other software. So you can connect different tools, extend functionality, build custom solutions.
So connecting your app to, say, your inventory system or a payment gateway.
Precisely those kinds of things.
Mhm.
Really crucial for lots of businesses.
Definitely. Now, here's a tricky one. How do you show off an app's features without giving away the keys to the kingdom?
Scenario 8, addresses that balance, launching a password-protected main app alongside a public demo version.
A demo version, so users can try before they buy, essentially.
Kinda, yeah. They can explore core features, get a feel for it, without compromising the security of the full protected application. It's smart marketing, really.
Lets people kick the tires safely. I like that.
hmm Then there's integrating existing web content into an app.
Like embedding a help page or something. That's
Yeah,
scenario 9.
exactly.
Mhm.
Seamlessly embedding web pages, but still managing access securely, maybe through a dedicated admin app.
What kind of use cases fit that best?
Oh, internal knowledge bases, maybe support docs, product guides embedded right where users need them, all kept up to date easily.
Handy. Okay, we touched on back-end processing earlier. Scenario 10 digs deeper.
Yeah, this focuses specifically on creating those silver-side workflow applications, handling complex processes behind the scenes.
And the big advantage of doing it on the server is,
Keeping the load off the user's device
hmm,
makes the app feel faster, smoother, especially on mobile where battery and processing power matter.
right, nobody likes a sluggish app.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And finally, the foundation of it all, reliability.
Scenario 11, building applications that just stay up. Fault tolerance.
Exactly. Using Xuda's infrastructure to build apps designed to keep running even if parts of the system fail.
So, fault tolerant means, practically speaking, for the listener.
It means less downtime. Your application remains available, reliable, providing that continuous service users expect, even when things go wrong underneath.
Okay, wow. So, I've covered a lot of ground there. From tight internal security to public demos, cross-platform, back-end workflows, reliability.
It really shows the flexibility, doesn't it? How
Yeah.
one platform aims to tackle so many different development and deployment needs.
It really does. So, thinking about all these scenarios we just walked through,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, which of these challenges or maybe aspirations hits closest to home for you right now listening to this? Which capability feels most relevant to what you're trying to build or improve?
That's a great takeaway thought. How could these kinds of platform features potentially solve your specific problems or help you reach your goals? Lots to consider there.